Well, hello folks. As you can tell, I'm not here again today. I had to take my wife back to the doctor. I have some tests done. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. It kind of depends on what we find out in these tests. If I'm going to be gone tomorrow, I'll bump the lab back a day and have you do the math problems tomorrow, because I really need to be here for the second lab, the Compass lab. It's a little bit more complicated than this one, so hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. If not, I'll have you do math problems. But today's lab is fairly simple, so I'm going to let you go ahead and do that after I go over how to do it. Before we do the lab, though, I want to remind you that they're pouring concrete today for the new field house. There's supposed to be about 30 cement trucks coming through here today, so be really careful as you leave today. If you're driving around, watch out for those trucks, because there's going to be a big parade of them in here today, so be careful about that. Don't forget we have a vocabulary quiz on coming up on Friday. I'm going to leave these words up on the board. Don't anybody erase them. I'm going to leave them up on the board today. Copy these down if you haven't done that yet. It's on pages 575 and 592. Okay? All right, well, before we do the lab, I want to show you this. This is called a magnetizer. I'm going to show you how it works real quickly, because I promised to do that today. This has a big electric capacitor in it, and it shoots a lot of electric voltage through a piece of iron and magnetizes it by lining up the domains. Now, I've got a couple of old horseshoe magnets here. I'm going to stick together here. There we go. But see, they don't hold very well. They're pretty weak because I haven't used these in over a year, and so they don't hold very well. Okay. So I'm going to recharge these and increase their magnetism by using this magnetizer. So what you do is you find the North Pole and you put it over here, like that, and there like that. We turn this thing on. It charges up several hundred volts of electricity in the capacitor, and then you punch this little button and it shoots the electricity through there. Turn it off, pull that out. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. North Pole in the north slot, South Pole in the south slot. Turn this on, light comes on, wait a few seconds, hit the button, turn it off, and let's see if it works now. There we go. Yeah, that's much stronger than it was, see? Okay, so I've done that to all of the magnets today. The magnets that you're using today, I have recharged using the magnetizer, so they should work okay. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, by the way, you don't want to touch this thing when it's plugged in, because you can get a nice little shot there. You're going to use bar magnets instead of horseshoe magnets, and they should be labeled north and south on there. You will need one of these handouts as we go through here. You'll be happy to know there's no math on this lab today, but you are going to have to draw. And I am going to grade you partially on your drawing, so do a good job. If you just smear a few lines and turn it in, you're not going to get a very good grade on this. So I want you to make a little effort and make a decent drawing, some decent drawings on this. Okay, it's this handout that's labeled 25 magnetic fields. First thing you'll need to do is get a bar magnet, and we're going to get a compass. Put this over here. One of these. Okay. And the first thing you do is you take the compass and get it away from the magnet, and make sure it's pointing north. Now, north is toward the wall here, so the compass, when you move it away from the magnet, should point this way, if it works properly. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to get the magnet and put it on the table, and take the compass and put it next to the North Pole, like this. So here's the North Pole of the magnet, and you're going to see which direction the needle points to. And then, very slowly, you're going to move the compass around the magnet like this, and as you move it around, watch and see what happens to the compass needle. You're going to move it 360 degrees all the way around in a circle around the magnet, and watch what happens to the compass needle as you go all the way around, because there's one of the questions on this thing that's going to ask you, so just slowly move it all the way around it. Okay? Alright, now we come to the iron filing part. Try not to make a big mess with this, okay? I know you have a tendency to do this. Try not to make a big mess here. What you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of paper, put the magnet on it like this, and then we're going to cover it with a sheet of wax paper. Now, when you get through with the lab, don't throw these away. I don't have a whole lot of wax paper, so we're going to try to recycle this and use it in every period. So don't throw it away. All right, you're going to put the wax paper on top of the magnet like this, okay? And then I've got some powdered iron or iron filings and a salt shaker. And what I want you to do is just sprinkle a little bit of iron filings around like this. Now don't go crazy with this, because if you put a whole lot on there, you're not going to be able to see anything. You'll have so much iron on there that it'll just be a big black blob. So just use a little, pretend this is like salt, or maybe, in your case, pepper. Don't put a lot on the paper, okay? You're going to sprinkle that around there in a circle all the way around, and see what the field lines look like. And then if you'll flip over to the third page, there's a place to draw this. See, there's a single magnet here. I want you to draw what those iron filings look like around this, okay? Now I've got some map colors if you want to use map colors. If you're creative type, artistic, I've got some map colors over here I'll leave up here. Or you can just use a pen or pencil. But try to do a decent job. It needs to look accurate. If you just smear a few lines on there, I'm not going to count this very well. These are going to be major parts of the grade. Okay, when you get through this, you're going to pick this up, and there should be a plastic beaker on your table. Let me get one real quick. There should be a plastic beaker on your table, and I want you to dump the iron filings in here. Try not to make a mess doing it, okay? This is a messy lab, potentially, so try not to make a mess. Take your wax paper and carefully dump that stuff back in there like that. Okay, so that's the first one. Then you're going to get two magnets, should be a second magnet on there, and put them where opposite poles are facing each other. North pole and south pole about 1 inch or 2 inches apart. Now, like that. You can come in here a little bit, camera person. Yeah, put them in there about 2 inches apart like this, north and south pole. Okay? You can put the paper back on top of this like this, and then just sprinkle around the edges like this. And again, don't go crazy with this. Don't put a whole lot on there. Oh, like that. Okay? And then you're going to draw that in the second drawing where it says two magnets opposite poles. And again, you just need to draw the section here in the middle. What we're going to see is, do the magnetic field lines bend toward each other, or do they bend away from each other? Right? Depends on which poles you have. Okay? So sprinkle that over there and do that. And then once again, pick this up, make a good drawing, take your time. Everybody needs to make a drawing, not just one person. And there's sheets on all these, so everybody needs to do that. Okay. Then you'll either need to put two north poles together or two south poles together. I'm going to put two north poles together. Same deal. They need to be about 2 inches apart, 1.5 inches, 2 inches apart. Put the paper on here again. Once again, sprinkle just lightly around here like this. And so you can see a picture. And then you'll draw that on the back page, page 4. Now it has two north poles, but it's okay if you do two south poles because it'll look exactly the same. Okay, and you'll draw the field lines, and again you want to see whether they're bending inward or bending outward depending on the field, the magnetic fields. Okay, so you're going to have 3 drawings: a single magnet, 2 magnets opposite poles, and 2 magnets like poles. 2 magnets attracting, 2 magnets repelling. Okay, and you also do the thing with the compass. Okay, so when you get through this, you pour that back in there, and don't throw this paper away. We'll use that next period. Okay, and then you need to do the questions. On the second page, there's like 6 of them, I think. Be sure and answer all of them. I'm going to count these and the 3 drawings as part of the grade. So do a good job on the drawings and make sure you answer all these. And put your lab table number on there, because if I come back and I find a big mess in here, I'm going to hold you responsible for it. Make sure you clean up any spills that you have. And then I'll try to get back here this afternoon and collect everything. Those of you that took a retest yesterday, or if you took the test for the first time, I'm going to try to get those graded in the morning and update your grades, get that in the grade book. So if you'll check Text Connect, your website grade book, you'll check that in the afternoon. I should have all those grades updated for then. And like I said, I'll try to get back tomorrow. If I'm back tomorrow, we'll do a lab with compasses. But if I'm not back tomorrow, I'll have you do math problems instead. Yay. But you got to do math problems eventually anyway. It's either tomorrow or Thursday. So whatever, however that works out. Okay, so get the paper and fill it out real quickly, break up into groups, and then be sure to clean up your mess when you get through. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.